Yo, folks, there is a lot of whining and stuff going on in the anti-free Karen Reed cult about, oh, they don't do that, oh, they don't do that, oh, the judges do. Let's find out who the real obstructors are. Well, welcome to the show.
Santa Claus, riding in with the winter laws. Santa Claus, streaming live for the roaring masses. Ho, 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 raise them horns, old Judge King in a crown of thorns. Santa Claus, streaming live for the roaring masses. Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. Well, this civil case, the wrongful death against Karen Reed, it's been going on for a while. It was stayed over the trial, then it got going again, and then it was time for producing documents and depositions. So, in the latest filing from Karen Reed's defense attorney, they line up what has been going on. And I think we can find out quite easily who the obstructors are. They start with, on May 20th, 2026, Colin Albert informed Reed that he would be indefinitely unavailable for deposition after June 2nd and continue to refuse to produce nearly all documents Reed sought. Yeah, we all know the story. Somebody, according to himself and his lawyers, made him believe the deposition was cancelled, which it wasn't. The judge says it wasn't cancelled. In the emails back and forth, they clearly say, we are rescheduling. It is not cancelled. So Colin went off to the army, allegedly failed the entrance test, so he had to go to kindergarten army training school to even get into basic training. And his attorneys, everything from 3 to 10 weeks to several months has been their answer regarding Colin Albert. But regardless, they don't want to produce anything if they can't help it. Now there's a judge's order regarding, in broad terms, 3.5 years in these select areas of information. But I would be surprised if that actually happens. And if it happens, Colin will do the search himself and then lie about the result. Then, same day, May 20th, 2026, Tully, through his counsel, agreed to July 8th for Tully's deposition, which was moved at his counsel's request. On June 1st, 2026, Brian Albert served objections to producing documents well after the deadline to object had passed, and the next day claimed to be unavailable for multiple weeks that followed his subpoenaed date. What a quinkydonk. What a quinkydonk. Let's see if that quinkydonk repeats itself. On June 1st, 2026, Nicole Albert, same day, Nicole Albert served objections to producing documents well after the deadline to object had passed, and the next day claimed to be unavailable for multiple weeks that followed her subpoena date. Oh, really? Two people now. On June 1st, 2026, Jennifer McCabe served objections to producing documents well after the deadline to object had passed, and the next day claimed to be unavailable for multiple weeks that followed her subpoena date. 3 in a row? Let's check the next one. On June 1st, 2026, Matthew McCabe served objections to producing documents well after the deadline to object had passed, and the next day claimed to be unavailable for multiple weeks that followed his subpoena date. Wow, it's starting to get, it looks almost like a pattern, doesn't it? Let's check the next one. On June 1st, 2026, Ali McCabe served objections to producing documents well after the deadline to object had passed, and the next day stated she was unavailable for her chosen deposition date. However, she later agreed to appear on such date with only 2 days' notice and then testified. In fact, she never had concrete plans, i.e., reservations, traveling companions, etc., requiring her to be away on the date of her deposition. She lied. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Albert and McCabe's on the same day files the same thing, claiming unavailability. What a coincidence, isn't it? I would submit to you that if these people have been aware for a very long time, these are the dates for your subpoena, and every one of them, boom, has the same excuse. But then Ali actually showed up and told us the excuse was absolutely made up. And I believe that goes for the rest of them as well. Let's check the next one. June 5th, third-party witness Michael Proctor filed his emergency motion for protective order seeking to continue his deposition scheduled for the next business day, despite having been properly subpoenaed in April 2026. This is when he allegedly went off to a psych ward because it was revealed he is probably a very big fan of the Austrian painter, World War II era. He doesn't like women who doesn't want to be raped. He doesn't like anything but the color white. And then it turns out he's weak as fuck. Now, again, I say this every time. If you have actual mental problems, contact the nearest mental health facility and get help. Do not go there. No, when it comes to Proctor, he might have had a breakdown, which is understandable. If he's been caught, everybody abandons him, who he knows have the same opinions as him regarding everything that isn't white, or women who don't like to be raped. Yeah, his facade might just have fallen, and it seems like it's fallen very long. In this case, good on you for seeking mental health help, Mr. Proctor. Here's my suggestion. Come clean. Admit to what you've done. I think that will help you. All right, let's check the next one. On June 16th, 2026, Julie Albert failed to appear for a properly subpoenaed and noticed deposition. On June 18th, 2026, third-party witness Tully suddenly served his motion to quash after his counsel had previously accepted service of the subpoena on his behalf and requested that Reed rescheduled it, which she did. At no point before June 18th, 2026 did Tully object to subpoena's request for responsive documents. So, back to the questions. Question: who are the real obstructors? And I think it is overly obvious. I'm sad for the O'Keeffes. Well, some of the O'Keeffes, one or two of the kids. I'm sad for the kids that has to live through this, when it is so overly apparent for a person with a normal functioning brain that Karen Reed did not do this. Physics says she did not do it. Evidence, regardless of physics, says she didn't do this. But the McAlberts, the Proctor, Tully, and a bunch of other people do not want the truth to come out there, because they know they will be fucked. That is what I had for you. Thanks for listening in, and you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next stream or video. Bye-bye.
Santa Claus, riding in with the winter laws. Santa